Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. How violent is too violent? Manhunt 2 is a new video game where the player gets physically involved in the violence. Daniel Seberg spoke with one gamer who says it's not much worse than video games already on the market, but one child psychiatrist disagrees.
We're now being hunted through an old house where I used to live, or at least the main character did, by these rather nasty gentlemen who are combing floor by floor looking for me so that they can stick a crowbar into my skull. So I have found a handy sickle. I'm not quite sure why there was one lying around my old house, but we are going to lure them into the open and then chop them up. Would have been more effective had I actually crept up from behind, but I can still push them out the window and apply a gruesome death blow. Well, thank goodness. He's only got a crowbar. But he has friends.
So you're getting increasingly covered in blood here too, right?
Yes, the more that you fight, the more you will become covered in blood. It isn't a game for the squeamish, I should say.
So your emotions are recreated in the game.
This is correct, and this is why you need to avoid confrontation, is because your adversaries are so much more powerful. However, you can slaughter them in an increasingly brutal manner. As you can see, he's curled up in the fetal position and we're still whacking away.
I mean, that's pretty violent.
That's correct. But from a gaming standpoint, you also have to keep in mind that this is quite abstracted. There's no mistaking it for reality based on the visuals here, based on the protagonist, who I don't think anybody dreams of being an escaped mental patient with all sorts of small arms at their disposal. And by the same token, I mean, again, the graphics are quite last generation. There's nothing here that you would mistake for reality. And if you are into picking up glass shards and stabbing people in the neck, you probably have more problems than a video game is going to illustrate.
Now, you've played a lot of games before. Do you find that as a result of this Wii controller, you're more into the game?
Well, to some degree, but at the end of the day, it still feels like a video game. Although you do get to take a more active role in some of the motions, and there is more physical activity to it, so maybe I'm burning a few more calories. But certainly, I don't feel as if I've become a serial killer, per se.
So parents might be quite shocked to see a young person play a game like that, making a stabbing motion or something. Is there a cause for worry if parents
I think we don't know at the moment, but I think that this is the sort of game that's most likely to have an effect, and I think if we're going to see an effect, then games that desensitize people to violence, games that actually have the players act out the things in a physical way, are more likely to have one. For parents, they need to be aware of what the games their children are playing, and be aware of the storylines, the actions, the reward sequences, etc.
What does using the controller in that violent way do to a person's psyche?
Well, I think the US military use video games to desensitize to a certain extent. So I think that actually it would have the potential to reduce the effect that you're actually hitting somebody. If you're acting out that movement, it may well become something that becomes more instinctual. And a lot of the research on aggression is essentially, it is very impulsive in many ways, so that if you have some muscle memory, or if you have some reduced ability to filter out aggressive impulses, then the potential for actually causing or making aggression worse is real.